Hey guys, welcome to Raw Customs. I'm your host, Patriot, and on this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to make an Iron Patriot helmet, or a War Machine helmet, or Iron Patriot, War Machine, Iron Patriot, War Machine. You know what? Whichever one you want to do, guys, it's up to you. That's a great thing about DIY, is whatever way you want to make your build, it's right. You can't do it wrong. Now on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give this one a 3. The most difficult part about this build is actually making the bend for the side here, and if you can do that, the rest of the helmet comes together pretty simple. And yes, I do have templates available for download as well as kit you can order. The kit comes with all your foam pieces cut out, laser etched, and ready for you to start your build. Now as far as paint, plastic dip, glue, tools, that's all up to you to get, as well as something to make some lenses. I do recommend using some cheap sunglass lenses or something along that nature. You can check out my video on putting eyes on the Iron Man helmet if you want to help you out. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for me. But for now, let's get to the build. For this build, you're going to need the kit or the templates and 3 sheets of 5mm foam, contact cement, plastic dip, spray paint, painter's caulk or quick seal, heat gun, a rotary tool, and a razor knife. Start with the face and 2 upper jaw sections. Use a heat gun to heat the face and give it a small bow. Heat the upper jaw pieces and give them a small bow as well. Once your pieces cool, they'll hold their shape. For glue, I recommend contact cement. Apply glue to the top edge of the jaw piece. I recommend using 2 coats on all edges. Now apply glue to the backside surface area of the faceplate, along the curved sides. Once your glue is set, press your pieces together as shown. Start at the bottom of the face, working your way to the top. Take your time and make the outside edge even. Next, take the lower jaw section and a thin straight edge like a ruler. Lay the jaw section face down. Line up the edge on the corners as shown and press down. Now you can fold it on each indentation. Next, heat the chin section and make a 45-degree bend along the registration line. Now place your chin section into your lower jaw and make a registration mark at the back for glue. Apply glue to the lower surface area of the jaw section and to the edges of the chin piece. Now glue your pieces together. Start by lining up the center section, then work your way out along each side. Now grab the filler section for the lower jaw. Line it up in place along the reference line and mark the back side of the lower jaw for glue. Now apply glue to the marked surface areas. Press the filler section in place, starting at the front and working your way to the back.
At this point, it's a good time to clean up your edges. I recommend using a rotary tool with a grinding stone for this. You could also use high grit sandpaper or an emery board. Here, you'll want to round over the ends and make them flush with the surface. Next, heat the forehead section and fold over the front areas along the reference lines. Apply glue in the corners on both sides and to the backside surface area as shown. Next, take the forehead brace section. Apply glue to the front and side edges, as well as the top surface area. Now line up the center of the brace with the bottom edge of the center section on your forehead piece. Line up the outside edges in the corner and press your pieces together, working your way out. Now press the surface areas together of the brace and the forehead. Make sure to keep a tight bend at the front. Once you're done, the center section should have a small rise as it goes to the front. Next, heat the outside flap. Slightly bend it down and glue your corners together. Make sure to line them up even at the bottom. Then make sure the backside is glued to the brace and fold the section down. Next, grab the top side pieces. They're marked 1 and 2, and line up with the corresponding numbers on the forehead piece. Heat the side pieces front and back. Then fold the inside curve down along the reference line. Then hold the fold at a 90-degree angle and press your finger into the corner of the fold. Then make small bends as you work your way down to curve the piece. The objective here is to shrink the inside curve, not stretch the outside. Next, heat your side sections. The heat will slightly round the side, that's all you'll need. Next, apply glue to the bottom and back edges of the forehead, as well as the front edge and inside curve of the side pieces. And to the top edge of the side of the helmet, starting at the line on the back. Now glue the top side section to the forehead, starting on the outside and working your way in. Next, glue the side section in place. Line up the front edges and press your pieces together, working your way to the back. Next, take the top section. Use a rotary tool to round over the top edge all the way around. Next, heat the piece and mold it over something round. You're wanting to bow this piece and give it a very small concave. Now apply glue to the top surface area of the helmet along the reference lines, and to the bottom surface edge of the top of the helmet along the outside edge. Line your pieces up at the front and press the pieces together, working your way to the back. Next, take the top back section and round over the bottom edge. Then heat the section. Roll the piece down along its height as you bow it along its length. This will give the piece a nice formed curve. Now set the section in place on the inside of the helmet and mark a reference line. Now apply glue to the marked area on the inside of the helmet and to the top edge of the back piece along the reference line. Now glue the center section in place. Start by lining up the center and work your way around the side. You will have to use a little force along the side to line up the back edge with the reference line. Now apply glue to the front bottom section of the helmet, along the inside surface and front edge. Now apply glue to the back of the jaw section, along the back edge and the surface area of the tabs. Then line up the jaw with the lower section of the helmet and press the pieces in place. Now take the face section. Heat the seams front and back, and flatten the pieces along the seam. Make sure your glue is set before you do this part. Now take your rotary tool and sand down the edge and make it flush along the seam, and round over the top edge. Now heat the upper tab and bend it down. Apply glue to the top surface area and to the top and bottom edges at the back, to the bottom surface area at the back, and to the back surface area at the front of the jaw. Now apply glue to the top bottom edge at the center of the helmet, the top and front edge on the side, as well as the bottom edge and the surface of the tab at the lower jaw, and the inside surface area at the mouth, on the helmet and faceplate, and the top surface area of the rectangle piece. Now line up the faceplate to the lower jaw and glue it to the tab. You should leave a small gap along your edges. Line up and glue the center section in place along the reference line. Now press the sides in place, starting at the top edge. Then press the bottom edges together and glue the tab in place. Next, line up the gap for the mouth and glue the rectangle in place on the back side. Take the bottom back section and round over the lower edge. Heat the piece and form it into a U shape. Then apply glue to the top surface area along the reference line and to the bottom surface area on the inside of the helmet. Glue your piece in place starting in the center and working your way along the sides to the front. Now take the half moon filler piece, place it on the inside of the helmet behind the jaw, and mark a reference line. Apply glue to your marked areas, and then press your pieces in place. Next, take the pieces for the ears and apply glue to the top surface areas. Then line up the edges and press the pieces together. Now line up a straight edge between the front and back corners and mark a reference line. Then sand a long bevel on each side of your reference line. Make sure to make a left ear and a right ear. Next, take a rotary tool and clean up your seams. Then bevel the top, bottom, and back edges. Next, apply glue to the front edge and the bottom surface area of the ears, to the back edge of the jaw, and the marked surface area on the side of the helmet. Then glue your pieces in place. Once the helmet's completely glued together, you can use a heat gun to heat the helmet up and relax the foam. You can use painter's caulk or quick seal to fill any seams, gaps, or imperfections. If you wet down your finger, it'll make it easier to smooth it out. If you're building the kit, you'll want to fill the seams as shown. Use a razor to cut the foam and join the lines at the front of the faceplate. Next, you'll want to seal the foam. I recommend Plasti Dip. Apply 2 light coats, followed by 2 heavy coats. Next, apply 2 coats of your base paint, then mask off the areas for your additional colors, and paint as needed.
Well, alright guys, there it is, the Iron Patriot / War Machine helmet. Now this helmet, really happy with the way it turned out. I actually bought 5 of these before I got everything just right and the kit ready to put out for you guys. Now as far as wearing it, vision's a little minimum. I mean, you can only see right out the front because there's really not much real estate there. But you can always pull it up on top of your head like so and walk around so you can see. Now this helmet, really happy with it. Comes together very nicely, looks real clean with minimum work. It's one of my favorite things about this is there's not a whole lot of sanding and manipulating the parts to get it to come together. It actually comes together pretty nicely, just the way I did it on video. Now as far as lenses go, you can always use just some clear film if you want, some sunglasses. This I just taped some film in there just so it look a little nicer for the video. And to make these things fit, you know, go get some polyfoam. I just recommend cutting it into strips like you see here and just gluing it in the side. That way you can put it on, make it fit nice and snug. And now a sneak peek of what I'm working on next. Optimus Prime, guys. Now I do love Transformers, grew up playing with them, you know, one of the best toys ever, I think. But I always loved Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, Megatron. So I'm working on this helmet. The new Bumblebee movie's coming out, and it looks like it's going to be a good one. I hope it's as good as the very first Transformers because that movie just blew me away. But so I am going to try and have this out and ready for purchase by the time the movie comes out. No guarantees. It is the Christmas season, guys, but I'm definitely gonna put forth a full effort to getting it out. For now, Merry Christmas, God bless you, and I'll see you on the next build.